Greetings, fellow investors, and welcome to another edition of Marketing Monday. I am Mike Van Orden here with
Dev Horn,
the one and only Dev Horn, the legend.
I think there's probably
There's probably only one really Dev Horn that I know anyway. But this is actually going to be part 3 in our wholesale series, and but I think it's probably the most important part, and that is it's kind of the chicken and egg scenario of, okay, do we get our cash buyers first, or do we go out and get, a contract on the house first? Which do we do? And, there's arguments for both. But to be honest with you, this whole thing about needing, several hundred cash buyers, you see people procrastinate a lot. They spend literally months compiling a cash buyer list. When if you just take some action and get a deal, there's typically always money out there, but you do need to do a little bit of due diligence before. So I think let's talk about what not to do real quick right off the bat, because I know that a lot of our licensees, they're also investors, and they have wholesalers that literally they click on their ad and they fill out a form.
Yeah.
But what a lot of wholesalers don't know, that could be a $20, $30, $50, $60 click. So explain what not to do and how that works if you're looking for investors.
You're right. That's the number one complaint I hear from cash buyers about wholesalers, and particularly new wholesalers, is they would go and click, do a search, sell my house fast into Google. Those ads appear at the top, and they think, oh, these guys probably have money and spend it in Google. And they click on the ad and fill out the form as if they're the owner of the home. And then the cash buyer calls the person back, and in the course of the discussion realizes it's a wholesaler. And in some cases, the wholesaler didn't even have the property under contract. They were just shopping to try to find out if they could make the two sides, And so, and that's a kind of a newbie mistake, you would never, ever want to start talking to someone about a property that you do not have under contract, because you have no interest in the property to represent.
And the danger is, you hear about a lot of gurus on YouTube will talk about putting ghost ads out on Craigslist. Then when the investor, that house is already sold. We're talking about clicking on these ads in Google. That's costing these investors money. That's what ticks them off.
You're right that most people don't realize that our business is a very competitive business, and we're at the height of the real estate market in this current cycle, which means it's more competitive than ever. And people don't realize that a click in Google costs, depending on the market, anywhere from $15 to $35 on up. I'm seeing clicks now, $40, $50 clicks.
Yeah, it's insane.
On a keyword on a single search. And so just be aware how that works, because it's not a good way to start a relationship with a cash buyer to cost them $50 and send them a bogus lead.
When you don't even have a deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I do think one of the things you could do, and particularly if you do have a deal and it's under contract, is look at do the search and look for the natural results and click on those that don't say ad next to them.
Right.
I wouldn't fill out their forms, or on the ones in the ads, look at their domains and just go to that website. Don't fill out their form and pretend that you are a homeowner, because it's just deceitful. Yeah,
it is.
You really want to contact them and say, hey, I'm a wholesaler. By the way, if they don't read a script that you were given at a seminar, we will get like 4 calls on a Monday.
Oh my God.
Guys that just spilled out of the seminar on Sunday and painfully reading the same. Just call them and say, hey, I'm a wholesaler. They know what that means. I either have a deal or I'm working on some deals in your area. I just wanted to see if you'd be interested and hear about them when I get them. Can I put you on my cash buyers list? Because the reality is, that's pretty much all the look. If the guy says, yeah, sure, put me on your cash buyer list. If you get anything, let me know.
Yeah.
It's the deal will speak for itself. Once you have contacted them and said, hey, we're working on a deal, can I let you know about it when I have it? I've never known a cash buyer to say no to that, right?
No, look, they're all looking for deals. In this market, they're starving for deals in a lot of markets. I know here in Dallas-Fort Worth, they're starving for deals. If you've got a deal, there's money out there. That's the good news about it.
There definitely is.
And as far as, let's talk about a few ways that, that you could find cash buyers. I mean, one of them is obvious. Go to auctions. They have auctions every month. You show up at an auction, have
Some
a
business
professional
cards,
card,
yeah.
hand them out. Hey, I'm just be honest about it. These guys have money because guess what? If they win, they gotta cut a check. Right? Gotta have cash, man, right there. So you know those are real. Those are buyers. You know the MLS. You can pull cash offers if you have access to all the cash purchases. I think, Dev, you know a lot about ListSource. I think that you can find.
Well, I don't use
that-
ListSource for that as much as we've actually used Kent Clothier's list.
Yeah,
Kent Clothier
is it
has a
Find
cash buyers.
now or something.
That's what it used to be called. I don't know what he calls it now. But it's Clothier's cash buyer
Yeah.
list. Basically, all they do is what we're kind of
Compile.
talking about. They
Right.
compile
Yeah.
purchases of real estate from the county
Right.
that were made without a lien or without a.
It just
mortgage
saves you
lien.
time. I mean, it's pricey, but it saves you a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's time or money, guys. You got time or
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't,
I mean,
I do think, Clothier's method is kind of an automated way to get a bunch, but I don't think you get email addresses. I think it's
no,
mailing
you don't.
and
It's
mailing
mailing and
address.
a few phone numbers.
But then you got names and you can
Yeah, you
search
can-
those guys.
yeah.
But, basically, if you just kind of are low key about it and very efficient with the time of the person you're talking to and say, hey, working on some wholesale deals or, working on a deal that I think you might be interested in. Would you like to hear about it if
Yeah.
we get it under contract? And then get the email address, and then you slowly start to build an email list.
Just be professional. Don't BS them. Just be
Yeah.
professional. Just talk to them like you talk to a buddy. I mean,
And then what I would say is, as a cash buyer, when I see these emails, the ones that are the best have either like a Dropbox or something, a bunch of photos, and so they have taken a lot of photos, and so you can kind of really get a sense of the property and its issues by clicking through those photos. The videos even better.
Yeah,
Most
because
parts
now
photos.
with technology, I mean, your smartphone, it has about everything you need to get quality videos and photos. I mean, they can learn a lot about a house.
The other thing that I would tell you as a wholesaler when speaking to cash buyers is you are not a homeowner talking to another homeowner. Don't tell them, how nice the schools are, stuff like that.
Right.
When you're a wholesaler talking to a cash buyer,
Right.
tell them right up front your very honest assessment of what you think this property needs. Because that's, if you start talking about a bunch of junk, they're in their mind they're thinking, what does it need? Okay,
Right.
I can tell you what the ARV on this thing is just if I know the square foot and the address. So the question really is, what does it need? And so I think a wholesaler that up front says, hey, look, HVAC looks okay, but we think the roof's probably going to have to be replaced, and we suspect some foundation work.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
take some.
And then the guy will go,
right,
okay, I
right.
know what I'm dealing with,
Right.
and he'll start to trust you, and he'll start to
Right.
look forward to hearing from you about deals.
That's it.
Because there'll be no surprises. You're not trying to trick anybody here, right? On the sell side or the buy side, you're just trying to facilitate a transaction.
Yeah, and look, there's really only 5 or 6 questions, when you're talking to the homeowner. Of course, the HVAC, the roof, the foundation, the electrical, the plumbing. I mean, take some detailed notes. I mean, because a lot of we had a roof put on 3 years ago. That HVAC is only 3 years old or whatever. I mean, take some notes. It's professionalism, right? When you talk, just say, when you're talking to the buyer, just give them the notes, the bullet points.
Yeah.
And they'll appreciate it.
And like you
right?
said, the top 5 that we talk about, repairs, just those are the things that the cash buyer is going to be wondering about as soon as the conversation starts. Does it need HVAC, foundation, roof, electrical, or plumbing? And so if you can kind of address the big 5, and then after that, they're going to assume cosmetic. I mean, almost any house that we flip is a cosmetic.
Or the modernization,
Right.
what year was it built? Does it have new appliances? What are the count? It's basic stuff. Just ask it. I'm certainly no expert in construction, but it's basic stuff that they're going to want to know. You don't have to get granular, but just the basic stuff.
The last thing I'll say before we wind it up is that there are cash buyers out there who are not great salespeople. They're not good in front of a homeowner, but they are great at. They have money and they're great at fixing and flipping houses and taking a bad house and making it into a great retail product.
Right.
So, if your strength is in the relationship side, you are of enormous value to a cash buyer who doesn't have that strength. And That being a wholesaler could be an avenue towards a partnership or relationship.
Absolutely.
With someone who this isn't their
That's
specialty.
Right. That's right. Absolutely. And I think that, the main thing is don't waste their time. Be cordial but matter of fact. Don't keep them on the phone with, a bunch of, talk about the weather and all this or that. Right. I mean, once you build a rapport and bond with them, sure, but just cut to the chase. Be professional. If you are new, try to mask that a little bit and just kind of get into the details, and then you'll be fine. I mean, these guys are looking for deals. Okay, they're looking for deals. And if you think you got a deal, they'll want to hear from you. Just have an approach that just like you would want to be approached.
Don't click on their pay ads.
Don't click on their pay ads.
Be very efficient with their time and with your time as well, and it'll work out really great for you. And
I think that
and remember,
at
some point, stop building your cash buyers list and go out and actually find deals.
Exactly.
Because I see wholesalers.
That's the
new people do
right.
it all the time.
All right, guys, go find a deal and a cash buyer.
Find a cash buyer.
All right, hey, till next time.
To your success.
We'll see you.
Boom.
Good deal, man.
Any house, any condition.